welcome back. Today we are exploring random forest, one of the most versatile algorithms in machine learning. Ever wondered why so many data scientists rely on it for accurate predictions? We'll dive into what makes random forest so powerful, cover important terminology, discuss why it's widely used, and even go over its limitations. By the end, you will have a clear understanding of how random forest works and when to use it. So, before we jump into the details, here's a quick roadmap of what we will cover today. First, we'll start with a basic understanding of random forest and how it fits into machine learning. Next, we'll discuss why this algorithm is a go to for many data scientists. Then, we'll see some key terminologies. Next, we'll discuss how random forest works and then see its limitations. Because, of course, no algorithm is perfect. We'll cover where random forest falls short. We'll see how random forest is applied across different industries and when random forest is the right choice. Finally, we'll wrap up with a practical example in Python. So let's get started. Okay, so first thing first, what is random forest? Let's start with the basics. Picture this, you are at a trivia competition and you are unsure about a question. To get the best answer, you ask multiple friends. Some may be right and others wrong. But by taking the majority answer, you are more likely to be correct. This is the idea behind random forest. It's an ensemble learning technique, which means it combines multiple individual models to produce a stronger final model. Specifically, random forest uses many decision trees to make predictions. Each tree works independently, and by aggregating their results, random forest makes a final and more accurate prediction. Random forest is like consulting multiple experts instead of just one. These teamwork of decision trees leads to more reliable results by minimizing error made by individual trees. Random forest works by building a forest of decision trees, each making a prediction. For classification task, it takes a vote and selects the majority vote as the prediction. For regression task, it averages the prediction. These combination of trees makes the model more reliable and accurate. So now let's see why use random forest over other algorithms. Here are a few compelling. First, high accuracy. Random forest often outperforms other models in both classification and regression tasks, especially with complex data sets. Second, built-in feature selection. By randomly selecting features, random forest automatically reduces the impact of irrelevant features, making it more efficient. Third, versatility. It can handle both categorical and numerical data and is used across multiple domains from healthcare to finance. Fourth, resistant to overfitting. The randomness in data sampling and feature selections help random forests generalize well to unseen data, preventing overfitting. Fifth, easy to implement. With libraries like scikit-learn, building and tuning a random forest model is straightforward. Now, to get a deeper understanding, let's go over some important terminologies that come up frequently in random forest. First is decision tree, a tree-like model that makes decisions by splitting data into branches based on certain features. Each leaf represents an outcome or prediction. Second is ensemble learning, a technique that combines multiple models to improve accuracy and stability. Random forest is an ensemble method using a collection of decision trees. Third, Baggy, also known as bootstrap aggregation. This is a method where we take multiple samples of the dataset with replacement to train each tree in the forest. Bagging reduces variance and improves model stability. Next up is feature subset selection. At each split in a tree, a random subset of features is chosen. This randomness adds diversity among the trees and prevents any single features from dominating predictions. Last one is out of bag error. When training each tree on a random sample, some data points are left out. These out of points are used to validate the model and estimate its accuracy. Now, let's see how random forest works. Here's a step-by-step explanation. Let's break down how random forest is built. First, data sampling. Random forest uses a method called bagging or bootstrap aggregation. It randomly selects different subsets of training data for each tree. This is like taking multiple random samples from your dataset, where each sample might contain slightly different data points. This helps each tree learn independently without copying one another. Second is feature selection. For each node in each tree, a random subset of features is selected rather than using all features. This randomness ensures that the trees are different from each other. It also prevents the model from heavily relying on any one feature, adding more diversity to the forest. Third is tree building. Each decision tree is built independently on its own random sample and subset of features. The tree grows until they reach a stopping criteria, such as a maximum depth or until they can't split further. Fourth is aggregation of predictions. Once all the tree have been built, they make predictions on the data. For classification problems, each tree votes on the predicted class and the majority vote becomes the final prediction. For regression problems, the average of all tree predictions gives the final result. Now, let's see why it works so well. Since each tree is trained on a slightly different data set and features, they capture different aspects of the data. When we combine their predictions, it reduces the chance of error because individual trees' mistakes are likely to cancel out. Now, let's see limitations of random forest. Random forest is a powerful algorithm, but it's not perfect. Here are some limitations to keep in mind. First, computationally expensive. Training a large number of trees requires significant processing power and memory, especially with large datasets. Second, slow prediction time. With many trees to go through, making predictions in real time can be slow. Third, less interpretability. Unlike single decision trees, interpreting the results of a random forest model can be challenging. While we can understand which features are important, it's harder to see the exact decision path. Fourth, tuning complexity. Selecting the right number of trees, adjusting max depth, and other hyperparameters require careful tuning for optimal performance. Now, despite its limitation, random forest is widely used across multiple fields. Here are some examples. First, finance. In credit risk assessment and fraud detection, random forests can analyze complex patterns and relationships in financial data. Second, healthcare. Random forest is used for disease diagnosis, patient outcome predictions, and drug discovery due to its accuracy. Third, marketing. Customer segmentation and recommendation systems benefit from random forest ability to handle categorical and numerical data. Fourth and last, environment and agriculture. It's also applied in predicting crop yields and classifying satellite images, making it valuable in environmental study. Now, let's see when to use random forest. First, when accuracy is key. If you're looking for high accuracy in both classification and regression tasks, random forest is a great choice. Next, when interpretability isn't crucial. If you need clear insights into the decision making process, other models like single decision trees or linear models might be better. Third, when handling complex or noisy data. Random forest performs well on complex data with mixed feature types, including numerical, categorical, and missing data. Now let's note down the key takeaway. Random forest is ideal when you need a high performing flexible model and can afford the computational cost. Let's dive into a quick Python example. We'll build a random forest model using scikit-learn. So let's open Colab. We'll do it together. Okay, so first I'm importing all the things that I will be required. First, I'm importing my model. Next, I'm importing dataset. Here I'm using Iris dataset. Next, to check the accuracy, I'm importing accuracy score. Run this. Okay, now it's done. Let's load our dataset. Dividing our dataset into target feature and our data feature. It's done. Now we'll initialize our random forest classifier model. Here I'm using n estimators as 100. It basically specifies the number of decision trees. Higher number of decision trees increase accuracy, but it also increases the computational cost. Okay, next OB score. It is out of bag score. It will evaluate our performance, so there is no need to specify test data. Here, marking it as true. It's done. Now we'll train our model. Model.fit x and y. Okay, it's done. Now we'll retrieve our out of bag score and out of bag error. And out of bag error, which is nothing, 1 minus out of bag score. Let's run this. It's done. Now we'll print it. Let's print out of bag error also. Run this. Here you can see that out of bag score is 0.95, which is 95%, and out of bag error is 0.046. So our model perfectly predicts. Since our dataset is quite small, that's why it perfectly identifies the pattern. Okay, so let's recap what we have covered about random forest. First, random forest is a powerful and simple algorithm that combines multiple decision trees for more accurate predictions. Next, we have seen key terminologies including decision tree, bagging, feature subset selection, and out of bag error. Then, the algorithm is highly accurate, resistant to overfitting, and versatile across various data types. And however, it can be computationally intensive and less interpretable than single decision trees. So, thanks for watching. I hope you have a better understanding of how random forest works and when to consider it for your machine learning projects. If you found this video helpful, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more such machine learning and data science related content. And I will see you in the next one.